Hello, I'm John Pheasant from the John Pheasant Band here at WBOC's Historic Studio D. You're watching Delmarva Life.
Just you wait until you hear the John Pheasant Band.
They're incredible.
They are.
Awesome.
Well, if you have children or grandchildren, you've probably heard of pertussis, also known as whooping cough. It's a contagious bacterial disease which can cause serious illness, especially for infants.
But there is help here on Delmarva to protect you and your family. Brian Spiros is at the Somerset County Health Department in Westover with more on whooping cough. Brian?
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, last year in the U.S. there were more than 41,000 cases of pertussis reported, including 18 deaths. And there's a lot you need to know when it comes to the symptoms and being vaccinated. And here to help us talk all about it is Danielle Weber, who's a registered nurse with the Somerset County Department of Health. So the first thing, explain to us what exactly pertussis, or also known as whooping cough, what exactly it is.
Pertussis is a bacteria that people get through droplet precautions or droplet germs. So somebody's sneezing, coughing, runny nose, that can be transferred very easily when they're coughing and sneezing to somebody else.
Now, anyone can get it, but it's especially serious for infants. Why is that?
Babies have not been vaccinated against this vaccine. Their regimen does not start for vaccination purposes until they're 2 months of age. And so they are very at risk for that germ. And of course, when they get sick, they can't easily get rid of that germ, and it affects them in a much greater way.
And you had said even though they start the vaccination process, it still takes time before it really can build up in their body to protect them.
It does. They get vaccinated at 2, 4, 6, and 15 months of age, but they're really not going to have great protection until they get to a year or more.
Now, what are some of the symptoms? Because I understand it sort of starts off like the common cold and then progresses from there.
It does. So people may show a little bit of a low-grade fever, they may get a mild cough, they may get a runny nose, and maybe a week to 2 weeks later that cough gets much more severe. It's longer lasting. It can actually take your breath away. It has this very high-pitched whoop, which is where the whoop comes from in the whooping cough, and can actually cause some vomiting because they just are coughing so much.
And if an adult has this, we should say they just shouldn't stay like that. I mean, you need to go to the doctor. There's a course of antibiotics.
They do. They're very contagious at that point, and so they need to go get a course of antibiotics. They won't be non-contagious until 5 days of that treatment, and actually their contacts should be treated as well.
So the big question is, how do people or families sort of protect themselves?
They get vaccinated. The way to protect you and yourself and your family and your children is to get vaccinated.
And it's called the Tdap.
It's called Tdap vaccine. People right now have a recommendation. We all get that vaccination as children. The problem is now as adults they're finding that we are just losing that protection, and so they're recommending almost like a booster. And so the recommendation has been always to get a tetanus shot every 10 years. Now they've added the P into the tetanus shot, which is the pertussis. And so the recommendation is for all of us to get 1 dose of Tdap as an adult.
All right, so good for people to know. And you should mention, too, that pregnant women should get it in their 3rd trimester. Why is that?
Pregnant women will be able to vaccinate, when they get vaccinated, it will protect the unborn child, hopefully through, and give them some protection until they start their own vaccination process.
And speaking of getting vaccinated, here in Somerset County, as well as Wycomico and Worcester counties, there's a vaccine available.
There is. We got a grant, and the state health department has sent down. We each have a supply of vaccine, and our target audience is pregnant women, adults, especially adults that have any contact with infants, whether it is your grandchild, your niece, your next door neighbor. If you have contact with that baby, we would love to see you vaccinated, and healthcare workers, especially those who have direct care with little ones. And
we should mention, if you're interested in getting this, call your local health department in one of these 3 counties first, just to give you guys a heads up.
We would love to have them call. You know, I can guarantee that somebody will be in the building if we know you're coming. And so that, I am sure, is true for the other 2 health departments as well.
All right, so a lot of good information, and certainly something everyone should be taking seriously.
Absolutely.
Danielle, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you missed any of that information, or for the contact information for all the health departments in those 3 counties, all you have to do is go to our website, delmarvalife.com, and click on the show tab. Jimmy and Lisa will send it back to you guys in the studio.
Something we didn't think we'd be thinking about.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Serious stuff there.
Well, still to come on Delmarva Life, who says you can't teach an old dog a new trick? You can, no matter size or breed. We have proof.
But first, if you're looking to buy something, anything at all for that matter, maybe a present for your sweetheart for Valentine's Day, maybe just something for you, but you don't know where the store is, go to DelmarvaLife.com.
Go to the upper left-hand side of the screen to find the Super Search. Type in the name of category or business you're looking for, and there you have it. A whole directory awaits you. We'll be right back.